Okay, so we have some Twitter questions for you before we let you go. We have a couple more minutes. I hope you have a little bit more time.
Oh, yeah.
The first one is just a comment. So Donald Sealhorse says, every home game, Derek Carr takes time to sign autographs for fans and take pictures. So can you please thank him for doing that for me, please? So Donald Sealhorse, there you go.
I had a moment when I was a kid where I asked a certain individual for an autograph, and there was no one around, and they said that they didn't have time for me. And it broke my heart. I won't call that person out, but someday when I see them, I will say that to their face. So, there will come a day. But I just promised myself I'd never be like that. And you never know. If I can inspire one kid by signing an autograph to help them become the next Raiders quarterback, then I'm all for it.
All right, from the Great Lakes Raiders Booster Club Twitter account, they wrote, I have been watching DC closely since he joined the Raiders. It seems like when he gets visibly mad, he becomes unstoppable, determined to win. Also, the arms flex. I get very excited when I see this. Is this true?
I try and hide it a lot of the times. There's times where I get angry and have to say some things to some guys, but for the most part, I try and hold it in. But when I, when our offense is, maybe getting booed or things aren't going well, and then we come back and turn around and win a football game, I think it's only human nature to kind of let some of that flexing come out. But it's all in love, and I don't get angry much, but I appreciate the compliment on the flexing. Hopefully it looked good.
Remember, James, I would ask you all the time when you guys, and not to bring up some old stuff, but 2014 when y'all started 0-10, and I said, how does this rookie quarterback stay so composed? Like, is this real? Like, is this like just a fake act he's trying to put on? And I remember, James, you were like, nah, this is him. This is DC. This is just how he is.
That's just how he is, man. He's cool and calm under pressure, man. He don't let nothing knock him off the track. And, it comes with a little swag, too, because, he knows that he's a special player. He might not say it, but he knows he's talented and he got skills. So he got belief in his ability that no matter the situation, it's going to be all right. I'm cool and calm under pressure. And you just heard him say that Kobe is his favorite player. And, so if you got the Kobe Mamba mentality, everything going to be all right.
Derek, you need to pay him as your hype man. He needs to be your hype man. Put him on your payroll.
100%. 100%.
24/7. He ain't even got to pay me for that. I'm going to do that anyway.
I know. Okay, so Raider Infiltrator 2.0. Derek, in your first year or two, it seems like you would opt to scramble more or pop for a big run. Why haven't we seen that much lately? Is it coach prohibition, conscious of unwanted injuries, or maybe mental doubt? Hashtag Raider Nation loves you. Congrats on the new baby.
Oh, well, thank you very much. And honestly, there's been a couple of times where I've tried to get scramble or something, and someone will catch my shoelace or someone will trip me up as I'm on my way out. And it's like a step away from some of those breaking. And so it's definitely not coach prohibited. He wants me to do it, especially when plays break down. We actually I had an opportunity to run one in the Cleveland game, but Coop popped open, so I gave it to him real quick, and he ended up scoring. But there's been a couple times where you try and extend it, and you want to do it, but obviously that's not what I'm looking to do. I'm obviously wanting to complete passes and beat people from the pocket. But there's been times throughout my career where I've been able to get out of the pocket and do things. So hopefully there'll be a couple more this season where we'll be able to extend some plays that way.
All right, a couple more questions. Actually, for my sister, Megan, she hit me up on Facebook. She went to Fresno State. So she says, to my former Fresno State colleague, what is something you learned from playing at Fresno State that you have brought with you to the NFL?
Oh, my goodness, toughness, for sure. I think, Coach, I actually think Coach Hill, Pat Hill, was at the game, at the Cleveland game, and he texted me this long text or whatever after the game, and I just said, Coach, that one took some toughness, so thanks for teaching me how to be tough. And I meant it. He taught me how, at a young age, what it meant to be tough, what it looked like to be a leader for a football team. He taught me some of those things in my first couple of years there at Fresno. So that's definitely something I learned. I learned how to play hard, early on in my career. And then I had a great coach in Coach DeRuiter who I got to, exemplify that for and play for and all those kind of things. But definitely early on, I was able to show some toughness and play hard. That's all Coach Hill, pushing that down my throat, basically.
That goes perfectly with the next person who asked an amazing question, and I think you're going to know who this is. Darren Carr. Maybe your older brother?
Oh, man. Oh, man.
This is pretty funny. Okay, so this is what he asks. Do you think that when David and Darren captured you, tossed you in the attic of David's Houston house and shut the door, do you think that toughened you up more? Or was it the time Darren scared you to tears when he popped out of the closet dressed up like Michael Myers during Halloween? He says, do you think those instances helped you prepare for life in the league and made you tough?
All right, so yeah, I will answer my brother as politically correct as I can and say that he had nothing to do with my success or my toughness. No, I'm just kidding. Those moments actually are true, and I think that that's what big brothers are for, to let you know that life can be scary sometimes, but it's not the end. And so I think that that's why I've been able to persevere through some tough times. I think that those are reasons right there that I've been able to just be a tough guy. And so I definitely, I'm going to take the high road here and say, yeah, I think that my brothers had a lot to do with it, even though I don't like them and they're both are ugly. So I think that I'm thankful for them.
So what I took out of all of it is, because you come off as a tough, strong dude to me. He said, you still are scared of Michael Myers, or is he just making that up?
No, he said that to us. He did say that to us.
That is 100% true. That is the one dude I don't mess with. Like, he doesn't die. Like, if you come into my house, it's going to be a problem. Dingo, we've talked about this. It's going to be a problem if you come into my house where my kids and my wife sleep. If Michael Myers comes in my house, you can't kill him. So I don't know what to do. But I am going to go see that movie. I'm excited to see that movie.
That's too funny. But I have a question. Why are you so always politically correct? You never give anyone bulletin board material. I
think honestly, like half the time, more than half the time, obviously, I genuinely just mean nothing really bothers me. Like, honestly, there's nothing anyone can say or do or anything that really just gets under my skin. I mean, I had brothers that were, that made me tough and, just taught me not to care what others said. So it doesn't really matter what you say. You just got to go out there and show them. I've been doubted so many times in my life where I could have said something and I'd say, you know what, I'll just go show them. And I think you get more out of that than talking about it. I've just never been someone that wants to talk about it now. The people closest to me, I'm sure James would know too, like when people are talking about 0-10, I mean, they know how I really feel about a certain situation, but for me to go out there and say anything, that really doesn't matter. I mean, we're going to have to line up. We're going to have to handle it as men at some point. So that's just how I was raised. I'm not saying, anything crazy or anything like that, but that's just how I was brought up.
One thing that I learned early in my career from Coach Mike McCarthy, and this stuck with me through my whole career, doing interviews or anything, even working on TV now, he always told us, never create questions for your teammates. So if it's something that you want to say and like, dang, they about to go to Derek Carr locker, Marshawn Lynch locker, Jordy Nelson locker, asking all these questions, he said, then that ain't the right response. Don't create questions for your teammates. So that's what I always took out of that and didn't want to get nobody bulletin material, because then they're going to go and run and talk to your teammates 24/7.
Absolutely. No doubt. You don't want those guys asking, like, why are you making me answer this?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so last question from a fan. It's from Raider Caesar. He tweeted, probably the only time it will not be Raider related, but McGregor and Habib this weekend. Who you got?
Oh, my goodness. I got to pick somebody. I just think with McGregor's track record, he's got that long reach. I think that he's going to do it. I really do. Even though he was a boxer for like half a second, I think that he'll come back and be just fine.
Yeah, he hasn't fought for 2 years in the UFC, so I think maybe he'll be ready to roll.
Yeah, that's like saying, Derek, you haven't thrown a football for 2 years. Can you throw the slant? Like, yeah, I can throw the slant. So yeah, I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Conor McGregor knocks him out in the second round. Conor McGregor just got that dog in him. He don't care what your name is. He don't care how many accolades you got. You step in his octagon with me, you get knocked out. I think it's going to be a second-round knockout, Conor McGregor.
Jay, you're reaching.
He called it.
He's reaching. It ain't happening in no second round.
Okay, just watch and see.
Okay, I will watch and see. Okay, so there's one more question that we have to ask you, Derek.
All right.
Do you want to do the honors, James? Go ahead.
Yes, I'll do the honors because, every time I see this, my stomach hurts and it bubbles. And I feel like I got to go to the restroom and all that stuff. But, obviously I was a Packer, so I hate the Bears. And then I came to the Raiders, and you came to the Raiders, and Khalil Mack came to the Raiders, and it was, baby, we are on our way. We are going to be good. So besides myself, I got to ask you this, man. How much do you miss 52?
Oh, I miss my dog. Oh, it hurts. I think everyone does, right? We all miss him, man. How do you not? Like, if you don't, then you're lying. We love our guy. Anytime, and it's not even about the football stuff. I just miss my friends, right? Every time, you go into the locker room, he was the dude I was joking with. He was the dude I was, messing with, talking trash to. He was the one I was dunking on in my pool. He's the one that was always hanging out. And so I think the thing that hurt the most, obviously I was happy for him because he got his money and, his family's set forever and all that and all those good things. But the fact, I think in a selfish way, I was just sad, man, that I don't get to see him every day. So I still talk to him. I still text him after every game. We're still always talking, making fun, laughing at each other. But I think we all miss him, man. I think, but I think at the same time we can all root for his success because he was such a great Raider. Once a Raider, always a Raider. He was such a great one, and we miss him. But I think we gotta just wish him well as he continues to ball out.
Before we introduce your interview, me and James were talking about how easily this team, a couple plays here or there, could have been 3-1, 4-0. And if you have an elite pass rusher on the other side, like Khalil Mack, y'all probably are looking at a 3-1, 4-0 record. When you see him dominating with the Bears, elevating that defense, and man, he's already made a case for Defensive Player of the Year through 4 games. That has to crush you just a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I think as a team, it hurts, but at the same time, how football is. If you're looking back, you're already behind. So we got to keep moving forward. Even though, he may win Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, he's got my vote for everything. So I love him, but as a team, we move forward and we continue to wish him the best, but it's tough.
First off, DC, he can't have your vote because before the season started, I said you was 5,000 yards MVP. So we're going to get that out of your head because I need you to go out here and strike for 5 touchdowns this week, 5 touchdowns next week because I just traded on my fantasy Russell Wilson and who else did I trade? I traded running back. I forget what running back I traded to get you, man. I fought for you, so I need 5 touchdowns this week, 5 next week, and go and get that MVP so I can say, boy, I told you I know what I'm talking about on this TV.
Hey, I promise you this. I'll give you everything I got.
I already know it.
DC, you are on pace, though. You're on pace for over 5,000 yards, and you have yet to hit the 4,000-yard mark in your career. You could shatter Rich Gannon's franchise record.
Oh, that would be awesome. I've been a total of like 3.5 yards short of 4,000 like 3 times.
I know.
So I got it. Hopefully we do that. But honestly, on pace means you haven't done it yet. So hopefully at the end of this thing, we can cheer about that. But we got a long, long way to go.
I'm good. I appreciate you, brother, man, taking the time, man, coming on here, man. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. You already know. Whenever.
Thank you so much, Derek, for taking the time.
Oh, I'm glad to be a part of it. So when this thing is big, I'm going to need my cut like James. I'm gonna need it.
Oh, you already know it, man. We're about to blow up, baby. Man, appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, DC. Have a good night, man. And good luck in L.A. It's going to be a home game for the Raiders.
Yeah, no doubt. No, I appreciate you guys. I'll talk to y'all soon.